What's going on? I'm going to be starting to show you how to program your Proffie board. This is going to allow you to update your OS, to update your own custom styles, and to put on sound fonts. First, we're going to make sure you have everything for the hardware and software that you're going to need. You're going to need to get a micro USB cable that is capable of supporting data transfer. You can check the description, like I just highlighted, in an Amazon review and buy one of those. That way you know that you're getting something that will transfer data and also supply power. Some cords only supply power, and you don't want that. The other thing you want is you want to get a micro SD card reader if you don't have one. Some computers come with it built in, but if you don't have one built in, you're going to need to get one. Then you're going to need to download the ProffieOS. You can get to this page by going to the Proffie main site and clicking the software link right here. You can click download version 5.9, or you can also go to the GitHub and download it here. The other thing you need is you're going to need Arduino, and you're going to have to add the plugin for Proffie board, which I will go over. And you're going to want Zadig. Come to this page and it will tell you everything you need to know. You're going to need to download Zadig, which you can, again, find this link in the description, and it is kind of scary to use because it may deal damage to your computer if you're not careful with it, but if you follow this guide, you won't be dealing any damage. If you want, you can also get Notepad++, which will help you edit your styles easier and any other files, and I really like it. It's nice to use, and you might want an SD memory card formatter in case you're using an old SD card. If you don't have an SD card, if this is a build, you're obviously going to need one. Before you plug your board in, if you have Dropbox or any other software like that, you're going to want to turn off AutoPlay. This switch will probably be on, and you will have to turn it off. Otherwise, Dropbox will try to access your Proffie board, and it will keep asking you for permission, and it won't stop. So if you have Dropbox, disable this before you plug in your board. Otherwise, you'll have to unplug your board, then come and disable this, and then it will start working. This can be found by searching in the taskbar, or you can also go to Devices, AutoPlay. It will be right here. That is one thing that you will need to do if you have Dropbox. Finally, what you might want to do is navigate over to your OS profile, and while you're here, you will make sure that your file name extensions are checked. If you don't have them, you won't see the file extensions, which may be a problem for some steps of this, and I personally prefer them. However, it is up to you. It's not necessary, but it is very helpful. So I would do that. That way you can see exactly what files you have here, and exactly which file you're going to need to click. So, when you have your OS downloaded, you're going to move into your config folder, and you're going to put in your custom profile, and make sure that that is updated, and make sure that that is working properly, so that it doesn't have any coding errors. And we'll get to that in probably a future episode of this. Finally, we can get to work.
This is where the fun begins. You're going to want to unplug your battery from your board and unplug your micro SD card and plug in your micro USB cable from your computer to your board. At this point, the board is going to power on, and it's going to tell you that there is no micro USB, or rather micro SD card, plugged in. That's okay. It's going to say it in a raspy voice, so it might sound bad, but that's okay. You have your SD card out, so you can start resetting the board and moving on to the next step.
If you have a lightsaber from the box store, like I do, you might have a film around your Proffie board, so you can't access the reset button. I use 2 paper clips to reach around the film and press the buttons, and I accidentally broke my seal this way. So be warned, that might be something you have to work around, and just be ready for that seal to be broken potentially, although for a while there I was able to reset it without actually breaking the seal. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press this left button, and then you're going to want to hold that and press the right button, and then you're going to want to obviously release the right button and release the left button. The left button is boot and the right is reset, And once you've done that, that will reset your board, wiping all the memory, so be sure you want to do this. Once it's reset, it will appear in your Windows settings as STM32 bootloader. You can navigate over to your devices, Bluetooth and other devices, and you're going to want to look for this STM32 bootloader. This is going to tell you that your device is ready for upload. But before we upload it, we have to use Zadig. So you're going to launch Zadig. Zadig will ask for permission to modify your computer. You're going to allow it to modify your computer. You're going to go to this Options, List All Devices. That's going to allow you to see everything. Now be careful. This is where you could mess up your computer if you're not careful. You want to click on STM32 bootloader, which is your reset wiped Proffie board, and you're going to want to convert the driver, which wouldn't be WinUSB, it would be something else, to WinUSB, specifically version 6.1.700. Whatever that is. And you can see all this information on the Zadig page of the ProffieOS wiki. It will tell you exactly what the USB ID should be, it will tell you the version that you need, and then you will click Replace Driver. Wait for approximately a minute to two, and it will be all good to go. Finally, you are going to want to install Arduino and ensure that it is up and running. To get Arduino, you can install it on the Windows Store, or you can find the download link on the Arduino plugin page right here, number 1. When you first launch it, it's going to look a little something like this. Then you're going to take your OS, and you're going to, if I can order these windows right, grab your ProffieOS.ini file, and you're going to move it here. Now, you can start editing your ProffieOS here, which we're going to need to add your style. Then you can just come over here, and I believe somehow you can close this, but I'll take care of that in a second. Anyways, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me get back to what I was saying. You have to have at least 500 megabytes of computer storage in order to use ProffieOS, in order to rather upload ProffieOS. So once you have Arduino installed, it will first need to be set up in order to support the Proffie board. You will come over to File, Preferences, and under Additional Board Manager URLs, there's a URL that is supplied from the Arduino plugin for Proffie board page. That is this URL right here. You are going to, start the Arduino IDE, go to Preferences, add this URL to the Additional Board Manager URLs. That's this down here. You can just paste this in if it's a new install. If it's one of many things, you may have to add it in this menu. But once you've done that, click OK. And then you're going to want to open the Boards Manager from Tools. Boards Manager. That is going to be here. You're going to want to install the Proffie board plugin. You will search Proffie board, and it will be here. Select the newest version and install. I believe I have the newest version. I have the newest version, so that's not a problem. It would be 2.2.0 as of right now. These are older versions. You don't need to get those. And then once you're done, you're going to close. It'll take some time to install. And then you're going to go over to your, let's see if it tells you how to do this. It may not tell you. But you're going to go over, make sure board is selected as Proffie board, V1 or V2, depending on what board it is. USB type is serial plus mass storage plus web USB. CPU speed, fastest, so 80 megahertz. Optimize for smallest code. Port, it will automatically read the port, but sometimes it will say COM3 or COM4 or COM1 or COM2, but that shouldn't be a huge problem. And then you want your programmer to be on STM32 bootloader. Then you're simply going to add your config. So come down here, type 2 /. That will comment that line out, so the Arduino software will ignore that line. And you're going to type # define config _ file in all caps config slash, and then you are going to type in the name of your file. So mine was, let me see if I can find it here, mycustomprofile.h. You're going to type it exactly as you see it. My underscore custom underscore profile.h. This is case sensitive, this is character sensitive, so be sure you're typing it exactly. Then, once you're done, you're going to save it, File S or Control S, and then press upload. It will compile. If this is the first time running Arduino, it will have to download some things. Don't be afraid, those are perfectly fine. And I've already downloaded those, so they're not a big deal. It's going to throw me an error, apparently, and I will be right back to fix that. Alright, I have fixed the error. I will be providing a whole video on how to fix issues involving your style code, but for now, upload it. It will take a little time to compile, which means that the system is putting together your style and the ProffieOS code, and it is making an executable that will go on your board and provide the lightsaber functions. So, while it's sitting here, it will probably be good for me to see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. I don't believe I need to talk about anything else. I believe everything's been covered. So once it is done, it will say how much storage it has used, 81% of the board's onboard storage. This is not the SD card, this is the actual memory of the board itself. Then it will upload. It will have this bar to tell you how far it is until it's all the way done putting it on your board. Do not touch the board, just let it keep going. And it will download. It takes about this long. As you can see, I have a pretty big style, so mine will take a little while. Alright, it is nearing completion. You're going to hear that sound, and that means that your board is done. You can unplug it now. You can plug in your SD card and your battery, and you're good to go. In episode 2, I'm going to teach you how to generate blade styles with FET263's website and Frederick's style editor, and start learning how to customize these styles or even create brand new styles for your blades. Thanks, and have a good one.